Mmm. No, there's nothing like homemade bread with your own homemade freezer jam. It's just so good. Hi, Michelle Roberts for Roberts Ranch and Gardens. You know, one of the really important aspects about self-reliant living is not only to grow your own food, but then to preserve it. And so today we're going to talk about freezer jams. I like freezer jams as opposed to the other jams that you just put in jars and that you heat on the stove, because you don't destroy a lot of the vitamins and the minerals that are in the fruit, and it isn't quite as bad a food to eat as it would be otherwise. It is so full of sugars that really the benefits, the health benefits of jams is not really so high. But if you make freezer jam, then you can preserve those vitamins. So today we're going to do that. We're going to start by getting a box of pectin at the store. So go and purchase a box of pectin, and you can find that in the canning section or in the baked goods section. Sometimes they will have the boxes there. It doesn't matter which brand you buy. I've used all the brands that they make, and they're all good. So go and get one, and you'll find inside a packet of pectin, which is great, and the recipe, which is wonderful because it's really all you need is this recipe to make either the cooked jams or the freezer jams. Okay, so today we're making strawberry freezer jam. Now these strawberries here are not my own strawberries. They are from the store. I prefer to use my own, but when I go to the store and they are selling strawberries for $3.88 a case, I buy strawberries. And so we did that the other day and madly took out the green tops, washed them, and put them in the freezer, or we flash froze them and put them in other bags in the freezer so that they're individually frozen. And these we had planned to make jams and jellies out of, and we just put those in the refrigerator. So we're ready to go now, and first thing that we do is we read our instructions, and we understand from the instructions that we have to be exact in our measuring. You have to measure exactly. And for strawberry freezer jam, it says that we need 3 1/4 cups of crushed berries. And that's right here. We have crushed our strawberries in this blender. Then 1/4 a cup of fresh lemon juice, and that's right here. 4 1/2 cups of sugar, which we have weighed out, and 1 cup of light corn syrup. Now I don't really like to add light corn syrup, and that's because it is made of high fructose corn syrup, and I'm against that. And yet, if you don't add light corn syrup to your freezer jams and jellies, they will crystallize in the freezing process, and when you pull them out to use them, they'll be grainy. You know, the little sugar crystals will get back together. But if you put some light corn syrup in there, it will keep them in the same state as they were when you put it in the freezer. So just for your information. All right, let's get started now. So we're going to go ahead and measure out 3 1/4 cups. Okay, it's right there. Now, I don't know if you noticed that there were some chunks of strawberry that fell into this puree here that I measured out. And I don't mind a few chunks of strawberry in my jam. If you mind that, then just blend it up a little more so that all of that is gone. Okay, we have our strawberries. Then it says that we need to add the lemon juice to the strawberry mixture. So we'll go ahead and do that. Want to stir that in. The lemon helps keep its color so it stays nice and red. It doesn't go brown. The next thing we need to do is measure the exact amount of sugar into a separate bowl, which we've done. That's right here, so that it's ready to go when we need it. We want to open up our pectin next. We just want to gradually add the pectin while we stir it. Okay, we don't want to pour it all in at once because then the pectin can get pretty lumpy. And then it becomes a problem and it doesn't do what we want it to do. And we got lumps of pectin in there. And so add it slowly, use a whisk, and blend it up really well. Now we have to set it aside for 30 minutes. Stirring every 5 minutes or so, just making sure that it's completely dissolved and mixed throughout. So we're going to start that time right now, and we'll come back when we've got our 30 minutes done. Okay, we have our 30 minutes now, and it's time to add our corn syrup. And it calls for 1 cup of corn syrup, but I am not a corn syrup fan, and so I'm only going to add half a cup and hope that that will be all we need to stop the crystallization in the freeze process. So we'll get that all out of there. Mix that in real well. Okay, now we want to add the sugar, which is already pre-measured. We'll gradually mix that in. Okay, now we have to stir it constantly until the sugar is completely dissolved and it is no longer grainy. So we'll go ahead and do that. It's still grainy. This process may take about 5 minutes, so just hang in there. And what you want to do is you want to get your freezer jars ready. Now you can use a number of different things to freeze in, but I like to use these plastic containers that are made by Ball. They have wonderful lids that seal really tight, and so if you want to go get some of those, you can. Any plastic container will do. I just like these because of the lid. It doesn't pop off easily. Now you can also put them in glass, but you need to make sure you leave plenty of head space, and that means you need to leave room between the top of your fill and the top of the jar, because in the freezing process things expand and you don't want it to crack your jar. You want room for that to expand. Make sure they're clean and dry. Okay, we'll test it again, see if it's grainy. Ah, graininess is gone! Yay! Okay, it's time to pour it into the bottles. Let me wash my hands. Okay. Leaving a little bit of headspace each time. Just pour it right in there. It's already starting to thicken. Then you take your lids, put them on. They're secure. There. Some of them screw on. Well, that one isn't quite right for that. Okay, need to find the other lids. Here you are. Wonderful. Freezer jam. Now I'll let them sit for about 24 hours. So just going to sit here on the counter overnight. Then I'll put them in the freezer. And then when I take them out to use them, I just keep them in the refrigerator. Okay, well, I hope you give it a try. I know you'll love it, and you'll have so many more nutrients this way.